All right, welcome back. Nice to have you with us. Right, folks, of course, as you know, every week we give you an opportunity to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks. What we do is we get one of the teams. We love this competition. We love the format of this competition. Why? Because it really shows what Western Province Rugby is all about. When teams know each other's jerseys, when teams know each other's logos, it fosters this sense of community. Alistair, it's one of the things that we've been building on the show, is that if I see your jersey, I know who you are and where you're from. Yeah. And it brings in that element of kind of belonging to something. People think, oh, Spot the Team is maybe a boring competition. But for the club rugby fans, it's very interesting.
Yeah, and for people who belong to that organization, you know, the pride in that badge and that jersey. But also for the outsider or the neighboring club, you know, just the awareness of clubs around them or the involvement.
But then the added factor to that is, if you are a player in a community and you're a player at a club and you're not getting paid to play, in fact, it's the other way around. You pay to be able to play. You pay subs and all that. It's so important to be able to feel like you belong to something. And so when you see your own team photograph on TV, and there's 100,000 people that have just seen that picture, there's an element of pride.
Yeah, massive pride. But just the sense of belonging to that badge or that organization. Yes, the pride, but behind that badge, you just mentioned now that you actually paying to be there, but the relationship you form, the memories you make at the club, you know, the network you gain, you know, it's valuable.
So folks, if you are watching right now and you come from a club, just understand the importance that in the absence of a lot of things like funding and sponsorship and money and that, one of the things that you need to do to keep your club together is the spirit of the club, the gees of the club. And you've got to make you feel like your volunteers and the people at your club feel like they belong to something. Hence the reason why the Spot the Team, Spot the Logo competition for us is so important, because we give exposure to the club. We make the players and the athletes feel like they belong to something. So anyway, those are the stories that we love to talk about here. This is the competition then that is up on our Facebook page this week. So to enter, go to our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV, and tell us, who is this team that you're looking at? Alistair, do you want to give us a clue?
Yeah, they're one of many teams based in Langa.
One of many teams based in Langa, right. Well, that's your first clue, right. So, folks, congratulations to last week's winner, Innocent Maklambani. Innocent, we're going to be reaching out to you to come and collect your case of Score energy drinks. All right, folks, let's take a look at some of the fixtures coming up then this weekend. Well, in fact, before we do that, let's just take a look at the logs in Super League C at the moment. So Super League C sees All Saints, Gardens, Young Peoples, Rangers, Violets, and Scottsdene at the top 6. Followed by Atlantis, Strand, Peniel Villages, Busy Bees, Delta, and Langa. Alistair, the same question comes out again for you. Is there any chance for movement here?
There's quite
Atlantis, maybe?
Yeah, look, the Violets picks up 10 points, they go to 49, they can end up third.
Yeah.
Young People's probably, if they pick up 2 wins or win in a couple of points, they go to the top of the table. So there's quite a lot of movement in that top 6.
But the one spot that I'm looking at there is the last chance, which might be a risk for Scottsdene, is if Atlantis pick up a win here, and they get 2 points, and we'll look at their fixture soon, then that'll bump Scottsdene out of the top 6, and Atlantis will secure.
Yeah, and they're going to the 6th position.
Yeah. So let's see if we can take a look at the fixtures then coming up this weekend, folks. Super League A fixtures, we'll start off there. UWC take on Tygerberg, UCT Brackenfell, Hamiltons and UCT, Van der Stel, UWC, SK Women's, and Stellenbosch. Of course, 2 of these games are played tonight, folks, as we speak, basically kicking off now. UWC and Tygerberg, and then, of course, UCT and Brackenfell. Have I got that right, Alistair?
Yeah.
Those are the 2 games that are night games tonight?
Games tonight,
yeah. While we're on this topic, let's quickly take a look then at Super League B. Super League B fixtures is Hamlets against Collegians, Vineyards and Goodwood, NTK and Primrose, and Ahmadiyya's are hosting CPUT. That's, of course, in Super League B. Folks, before we go to there, Alistair, Bella is not playing this weekend.
They are done, yeah.
They're done?
They're done.
But they've got a lot of activity coming up next weekend.
Yeah, next week and Wednesday the 20th. They got a meet the box session, so the Springboks are training at Erica Park.
They're at Erica Park, yeah.
It's free for clubs, schools, whoever wants to come view. It's an open training session.
Yeah.
It starts at 10 o'clock, ends at 1 o'clock.
So, folks, there you go. Have Springbok rugby team is at Belhar Rugby Football Club next week. Open to everybody, schools, clubs, friends, fans. Springbok rugby at Belhar. So that's an amazing opportunity. Let's take a look then at your other fixtures coming up this weekend. And in fact, before we go to the other fixtures, let's quickly take a look at the Promotion League top three at the moment. Watsonia, Wraithby Universals, and Blue Stars United. Alistair, any comments on your side there?
Yeah, look there's Salodians and Morning Star still in there. Yeah, so it's still, I think it's still tight.
Still close.
Yeah, still
folks,
close.
In the Challenge Cup, of course, these are the teams that are challenging to make it into the Promotion League and then up from there, which I've been loving this competition. Yeah. But let's take a look at the Challenge Cup. Albions and Temperance and Cities are sitting at number 2 and 1 and 2 at least in Pool A. Yeah. Then in Pool B, Blue Jets and Silvertree sitting at 1 and 2. And then in Pool C in the Challenge Cup, Stelkor, Windmill United, and then of course in Pool D, it's Northerns and Peninsula. And Alistair, I must say, this Challenge Cup, even though they're struggling to make sure that everybody's playing games and stay in the mix, I love this Challenge Cup.
Look, I know a couple of clubs that's participating here, and just the name, the Challenge Cup, something to play for after that, your regular league. It just brings a different excitement around at this time. It
is an amazing tournament. Right, folks. So we, of course, have a couple of big matches then coming up this weekend. Let's go then straight away to Alistair Wood. I'm going to put you in the firing line here, but in fact, the barometer was going to go straight there to Hamadias and CPUT.
Look, obviously
I'm not going to put you in a spot on the barometer. But let me just ask you then, Hamadias come off a close match against Macassar.
Yeah.
This is a big game for you guys this weekend.
Yeah, I think, look, whoever wins this game avoids the promotion relegation fixture. So it's a big game for both teams.
And you're playing at Vygieskraal?
We're playing at Vygieskraal.
Vygieskraal. So a lot of action happening this weekend at Vygieskraal, folks. Hamlets and Collegians. So, folks, this is sort of a lower part of the log, but Collegians will be travelling to Hamlets. It's a long way. Now, Alistair, earlier in the show, I said Collegians travel well. They just played against Hands and Hearts, where they travelled. Now they've got to travel to Hamlets. Yeah. It's a little bit further.
Hopefully they can carry that momentum, and believe that they can win away from home.
Yeah. NTK and Primrose, this is a tough one for NTK, but they've got to get the points.
Yeah, this is a big one for both teams, because if Primrose wins here, they go straight semi-finalists. NTK needs to win to secure the top 6 spot.
So interestingly enough, Alistair, I'm sure that Murray from NTK will be happy to see what the barometer says, is that the barometer says that it's in favour of NTK, because NTK win 80% of their games at home. Primrose, when they play away, have been sitting at the 60% mark. And of course, NTK have got the fan factor. So the barometer says, even though Primrose is number 2 on the log, and NTK is sitting at number 8 on the log, the barometer says NTK is going to win this game. Yeah,
so NTK hasn't lost at home. They've drawn at home. So hence it's been 80%. So they'll be backing themselves at home.
All right, so it's a lot of interesting fixtures there, folks. Goodwood and Vineyards, Alistair, odds look like they're in favour of Goodwood here.
Yeah, once again, Goodwood needs to win to get into the top 6. Vineyard wants to avoid the bottom 3 with the win there.
It's very close, Rangers and Busy Bees, I'd almost call this a derby. They're not far away from each other.
No, it's just down the road.
Just down the road.
But we'll go with Rangers.
Rangers, of course, have the odds in favour. They're winning more than 80% of their games when they play away. Blue Stars and Watsonia. Now, this is going to be a big game, folks. This is, of course, in the Promotion League. Blue Stars is currently sitting number 3 on the log. Watsonia is sitting number 1 on the log. Ali, your call on this?
Watsonians, I don't think Watsonians has lost yet this year.
Well, they got a 100% away win, away record. But playing Blue Stars away, it's going to be a challenge. Watsonia, I'm sure, will be up for it, though. Fisantekraal and Masiphumelele. We've got to take a look at this. They're towards the bottom of the log, but nevertheless playing for pride.
Yeah, but these are the opposite sides of the Cape.
Yeah. Well, the odds are in favour of Fisantekraal, but still very exciting. And of course, folks, also in the promotion league this weekend, we see Morningstar and Solarians. Ali, the barometer says it's in favor of Morningstar.
Yeah, I'll go with the home team, with Morningstar on this one. Yeah,
with Morningstar. All right, folks, so we have so many exciting, interesting games this weekend, and we're looking forward to making sure that we talk about it. So remember, if you are out there, send us your photographs, send us your videos, and don't forget, if you haven't spotted your jersey on the back here, then of course send us your jersey so we can give you that sort of extra exposure. It's a big weekend for you, Alistair. Other than making sure that you get the points on the board this weekend, what are your plans?
That's my only plans. To make sure that you get the points on the board this weekend.
All right.
There's only one goal.
Well, I hope that the weather works in your favor.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right, folks, that's a wrap from us again tonight. We're looking forward to having you back next week. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.